My name's Kathy Champion, and welcome into my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin', and back here in my craft room. Today we're going to make this beautiful card, and I wish I could take credit for the design, but I saw this on another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator's site, and she said that it wasn't her design either. She actually saw it on the demonstrator planning place, and I thought it was so beautiful, I cased it. And because it turned out so pretty, it is a shaker card, and it turned out so pretty, I decided that I was going to bring it to my channel. Now, I actually made this for a friend of mine, and I'm going to get it in the mail, but I wanted to do the video first. Now, I did change mine up a little bit because I used a different ribbon here at the top. And I think I may have used some different colors as far as my coloring goes. And we're going to carry that through today on the card that I'm going to make. So I'm going to set this over, and I also used, I think, a different embossing folder. But what we're going to need to start off with is a piece of Pretty Peacock, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11. And we're going to score this at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. And I'm going to pull up my scoreboard to score this, because it is, I've lost a foot, so I'm going to put my foot back on right there. I'm going to bring this piece of cardstock, and I'm going to bring it up into that top left-hand corner. I lost more than a foot because I also dropped my my stylus that comes with the board. So I'm going to lay this in right there, and we're going to score it in two places. We're going to score it at 4 1/4 and at 5 1/2. Those are our two score marks. That will give us this beautiful fold. It's like the bookbinding fold. Y'all seen me make cards like this before, but we're going to do it this way with it being at the top. So that's going to be our first step. Grip that card base. So I'm going to fold that back. Let me grab my bone folder. And I want to give that a good crease in both places. And lay that to the side. Now we're going to need some pieces to go on here. Now I went ahead and stamped all my images that we need to stamp, color, and die cut. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and take care of that. I'm going to cut these pieces out and kind of separate them, because we're going to need to do that when we die cut, especially these pieces here. So I'm going to cut my bird off first, and I'm using my serrated Tim Holtz Conic Studios scissors. I love these scissors. And I'm going to cut this off, and I'm also going to cut these, because these will have to be colored separately and cut separately because there's one die. So those are all cut now, and we can concentrate on our coloring. For my hummingbird, and this can be the most tricky to color. There we go. Now we have two of our birds. And this time I'm going to be a little more careful in coloring. And I'm going to let that dry just for a little bit. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and color some of these flowers. And I'm going to grab a little bit different color. I think I'm going to grab some Bubble Bath. And I'm going to do my flowers more in a Bubble Bath. And let's grab a Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to come in with my light Bubble Bath. And I just want to get in here and color all of the petals. I'm going to bring in the dark Daffodil Delight. And I just want to swirl some color in the middle. It's okay if you go out, because that yellow and pink is going to give an orange look, which is perfect for the inside of the flower. Let's do Shaded Spruce. Now let's work on our hummingbird. Okay, I went off camera to finish coloring this because I had to attempt this coloring about 3 different times. But I want to tell you what colors I used. I used the soft sea foam under the breast of the bird. Right through here, I did the light Highland Heather. I also used, for the darker blue, the light starry sky. I also used shaded spruce for the green around here. And then I pulled in to give a little depth of color, some pretty peacock around the edges and kind of blend those together. And I also used a color lifter around my edges, anywhere that I went out of my line. So those were the colors I used on that. Now for my flowers, I used Daffodil Delight, dark, light and dark. I used shaded spruce, and I used bubble bath. So those were the colors I used in all of the flowers. So in case you were interested in those colors, those are the ones that I used. And I will have those listed on the PDF tutorial as well. Sorry about that. We are definitely ready to die cut these. So I'm going to bring up my die cut machine, and we are ready to die cut these pieces out. So I'm going to bring in my plates, and for that I need my number 1 plate, my number 2 adapter plate. I need my very worn and loved cut plate, and then I need my cover plate. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay these down. Now this one I'll have to wait and cut it after I do the other ones, but all of these I can cut at one time. So I'm going to pull my dies and position those where I need them. The first thing I want to do is get my hummingbird on here. And what I like to do is I like to bring my die up and hold it and wiggle it. And once I see that I've got no white showing around the outside perimeter of the die, then I can pretty much say that I'm in the right position. And then I just put one of my little Post-it flags over top to hold that in place. And I do that with all of mine. So I'm going to put that there. Let's grab the flowers. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to hold it, line everything up like so, and grab another Post-it flag, tape that down. And we're going to do the same thing with the larger flowers. Get it on there exactly where we need it. So grab another Post-it flag and set that down right about there. And this one I'm going to put 2 on, so make sure that it does hold it for me. And then we need the smaller flower, which is this one. And this is going to go on like so. And one more Post-it. Make sure that's in place. And now we are ready. And you can see this plate is big enough that we can pretty much cut all these in one shot. So I'm going to lay my cover plate over. I don't have to worry about anything moving because I got everything taped down. And then I'm going to shoot that through just like that. Lift my Okay, guys, I'm not sure what happened, but it seems that my camera stopped recording after I showed everyone my die cut pieces. The last thing I did, I had die cut all of my stamped images and I stuck them back in the envelope. What I did after that was I put the gold, the navy on the gold and the very vanilla on top of the night of navy. And I glued it all down to the top here, and then I ran the ribbon underneath this piece before I adhered everything together. So that I had done, and I'm sure you missed it. The other thing I did was I put my piece of gold foil uh, on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I cut out the largest square using the stylish shaped dies. I did that so I wouldn't be wasting all the foil just to get an edge around my card. So this piece is completely usable. So that was the other thing I did. And then I took a piece of my piece of acetate that I had cut. I turned my piece upside down and I put my acetate down and glued it with glue all the way around. Then I went back and put on my strips of the foam adhesive strips all the way around the outer perimeter of the square. Then I went back and I put pieces catty-cornered in here to keep my shaker pieces in the middle of my card. Now you could do a piece down here. I don't think it's necessary. I think if they go up into that little bit, they're going to fall back in. So that's where we were at when everything went awry. So we are back where we need to be. Hopefully you got all of that. I would have redone the video, but I'm out of gold foil. I don't have a piece big enough to do this. So it's definitely on my order list for my next order. So I'm carrying on, and hopefully that won't be too confusing for everyone. So what we need to do now is I need to decide what I want to stamp in the middle of this. And I really want a pretty happy birthday. So I'm gonna emboss this with gold embossing powder. So I want something that's a very pretty happy birthday. Always go to my go to greetings, but I was really hoping for something a little different. But you know what? Let's see if that will fit in our window. So if I put that right about there, let's see. We can get that in our window. So I think what I'm going to do is this piece that came out of here, I'm going to move the card itself out, and I'm just going to work on this piece here. This is the piece that was inside of this piece, and I'm going to do my best to kind of emulate it being back there. Something like that. Let's see. That looks pretty good like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a pencil and just make a little line here, 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 and here. We can come back and erase that, but that gives me a center point of where I need to stamp that. So I'm going to put this happy birthday right about there, and we're going to hope for the best. So let's grab a stamp block, and I'm going to take this one right here. And let's prep our piece of paper using our embossing buddy. So I'm going to grab that. Anytime that you're embossing, you always want to use your anti-static tool. This puts down a nice little coating of powder that keeps everything from sticking to your piece except where your watermark ink is going to go. So got that pretty well powdered. So then I'm going to grab my Versamark ink, and this is a clear ink. And anytime you're working with a cling stamp set, you want to be careful not to rock your stamp. You want to tap it. And I'm going to look to see if I've got a good amount of ink on there. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to come down and I'm looking at my pencil marks here and here, and I'm going to stamp that right about there. And I'm keeping even pressure straight up and down on this because I don't want to get any embossing powder around embossing ink around the edges. That looks really good. So I think I did okay with that. So let's go ahead and put some gold embossing powder on it. So I'm going to pick that up and sprinkle my gold embossing powder across it. That looks like it took really well. So I like to do it twice just to make sure. Tap it off really good. Oop, maybe not quite that good. And that looks pretty good. So I think we've got a pretty good happy birthday on this card. So let's go ahead and I'm going to wipe my desk off to make sure it doesn't have any embossing powder where I don't want it. So that little trick. And then I'm going to get my heat tool out and get this warmed up. I want to warm it up for about 30 seconds before I actually start using it. And it embossed beautifully, so I'm very happy with that. Now I can come in and I'm going to use this eraser because I know it will give me a good clean erase. And I'm just going to go in and take away those pencil marks that I had put down. You don't want those pencil marks to show. And they probably won't, but I just wanted to make sure that they are gone. So there we go. So we got that all done, and I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to brush this off really good. Get any of that white powder tool off of it. And there is our beautiful piece. Absolutely beautiful. Love that. So now we're ready to go ahead and put this piece down on here. So I think what I want to do, I'm thinking I want to use Stampin' Seal. So I'm going to turn that over and grab my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to run it to the outside edges all the way around. Make sure I got it up to the edge. And I'm going to run it straight down and over and up and over. Now we should be able to set that down on that piece of gold with just our tiny bit of border showing. So I'm going to move it over as far as I can, like that, and give it a press. Now this piece is ready to go down on to this piece. So let's go ahead and put that down using some liquid glue. Again, we want to make sure we're getting our borders nice and even all the way around. And then we have our shaker piece that's going to go on just like that. And I think that is perfect. We need to put our little jiggly things in, and I think I'm going to do something a little different. They're very pretty, though. I think I am going to do these. They're so delicate, and I think they'll be beautiful in there. So I'm just going to put about that many in. Like so. And I am going to kind of bunch them up there in the middle a little bit. And then we're going to be ready to put this down over top of it. So all we have to do now, I think I want it like that. Yeah, what we need to do is pull off all of our backers. So they're easy, very easy to pull off. So just do this little number all the way around. Make sure you get all of them off because you don't want anywhere, you want this to stick in all these places. Come on. Pull that off. Pull that off. Okay. I think I've got them all off. And I think I want it like this. So very strategically, I am going to lower this down and try to set it as nice and straight as I possibly can. Once I get it, I'm going to give it a good press all the way around. And then we're going to shake it. And the shakers are working beautifully. Look at that. I love it. I think they're beautiful. It is definitely moving around in there. They're not coming out. That's the main thing. You don't want your little shaker pieces to come out. Now the fun part, we get to decorate. So I'm gonna stick my sequins back in there. This is the fun part. We get to take all of those beautiful little pieces that we made and we get to come in and play with them and decorate our cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump, not this one, all of our other little pieces out. And I know that we're going to put this right about here. You want to remember to try to stay within the perimeter of the card. We know that our bird needs to go about like, let's see, we want his wings to go up this way. Maybe something like that. These little pieces, we are going to run one of these up this way and one of these down in this direction. This one's going to go inside. We're going to put a couple of these gold leaves like here. I keep checking to make sure that my camera is recording. This one I'm going to put right here just to give it a little extra something something. And we're going to use this one and this one inside. This one is going to come up under here, like so. And this one is going to come down from under here, like that. And you build your collage and make it yours, but this is the way I want to do mine. Then I've got these three little gold flowers that I cut out using the dies, and we're going to go in with those and using our piercing mat, we're going to make little tiny flowers out of these. And let me show you how we're going to do that. I'm going to take your pick tool. And on your take your pick tool, you have this interchangeable pick. You have the spatula on one end and your pick on the other. But when you get this, you also get some stylus ends. And they look like, keep them right here in my drawer where I can reach for them. You get two of them see if I can pull them out. You get one like that. And you get one like this. There, so it's 4 different sizes. And you can also use these with your your score buddy, or your simply scored scoring tool. I think I'm going to use this one right here. So I want that larger ball. So I'm going to put that in there and just twist it. And then I'm going to go right into the center of that flower. And I'm just going to pounce on it just a little bit, just to make it curl up into like a little flower, like that. And I'm going to do it to all 6 of them. This and this. And we have 3 more to do. Just like that. Now, once you get those done, we can get that out of our way. And I have these other little, I'm going to put my regular tool back on because that's the one I use the most. Just make sure everything is locked in. And these are the champagne iridescent dots, and they come in with the suite with this particular set. If you get the suite, you can get these. If you don't, you can buy these separate. But these are so pretty. And we are going to put one of these smaller ones inside. Let's see, let's use our little grabby tool for this. These are so cute on the inside of these flowers. That one's a little bit too big. But you've got 3 or 4 different sizes, so pick up the one you want, and then all you have to do is put a tiny bit of glue just on the inside. And then take this and set it right into the glue. And you have a beautiful little flower. Slide that around just a little bit, like that. And I'm going to let that dry. You can also put glue dots on these if you rather. I find glue dots just a tiny bit tedious to get in there, but you can do it. It's totally up to you what adhesive you want to use. So I'm going to pull that out and set that down in there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. That one's too small. I need one a little bit bigger than that. That's a good size one. I'll tell you what, I'm going to set them out here and then we can pick them up. It might be the quicker and easier way to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 4. So 2 more. Here we go. So now we can just pull these over and go ahead and get those glued in. I think this process will make it a little bit faster. I'm going to hold it with one finger, and then I'm going to pick up my jewel and just set it right down in there. Like so. And bring that one over. Do the same thing. Tiny bit of glue. You don't need much. Just get it into the center against the glue, and the glue should do its job. So just get it down in there. That one just didn't seem like I put enough of glue. So let's try it again. Okay, and we need 2 more. A little bit of glue. And a little bit of glue. All right, and I'm going to leave these over out of the way and just let them dry so those beads will adhere to them. And while they're drying, let's go ahead and put the card together how we want it. So for the hummingbird, I do not want to put, well, you know what? It doesn't matter because nobody's going to see the back side. Let's get our flowers down and then we'll work on this. So let's go back and start off with this. And I'm going to glue everything flat. So I want glue right through the middle of this, like that. And I'm going to move everything off so I can have room to work it. And I'm going to put that right there. And then we're going to take these little leaves and I'll put glue right there on the edge and I'm going to tuck them right there. So pretty. And then this one is going to go right up underneath the edge of this. Something like that. So let's put glue all the way on the back of this one. And while this one is still wet, you want to grab that gold piece and sit it like that. And press that all down together so it will adhere. Then we're going to come up the side and do the same thing. We're going to put this piece down, like right there. This is going to go down right there. Like that. And then we're going to bring this piece and it's going to go underneath there like that. And then this one we're going to pop on a dimensional. So I'm going to grab a mini dimensional. These were some mini dimensionals that was left out of a paper pumpkin. That's why they're on a small sheet. In case you're wondering, you always get extra stuff in your paper pumpkin, which is so great to have because you get little glue dots and you get dimensionals of both sizes. You get baker's twine, sometimes ribbon, and very seldom do we use it all. Okay, so now we have these little flowers, and I want to put one up here. So I'm just going to take my glue and put some glue like that, and I'm going to pick this up and just sit it in the glue, just like so. Let that adhere. And then we're going to take a couple of them and bring them down here. So maybe one there and one right there, just to give a little bit more emphasis to our entire piece. So a little glue, pick it up and sit it down. So pretty. And then this one there. And there. Ah, so pretty. So pretty. I love it. I love it. So now we got our little hummingbird to put on, and he definitely needs to be popped up. So you want to make sure that it doesn't impede his wing with you opening the card. So I'm going to wrap him around that way and know that I can get him on without his wing bumping into the top of the card. So let's see. Maybe we need to bring him right about there. That's good. I'm going to use dimensionals on him as well, but I'm going to use regular. Oh, I knew I had some. What did I do with them? Regular size dimensionals. Mm-hmm. Here we go. I knew I had a few left on this page. So I'm going to put one there, one right here on the wing, and one right there at the head, and maybe one right here on the body. I think that'll be sufficient. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and pull these off. This takes them off so easy, and it kind of keeps them all together and easy to throw in your trash can. Let's see if that's going to work. That's impeding a little bit. So let's come down. That's better. And it kind of frames the happy birthday. You want your happy birthday to show because this is a birthday card. It is so pretty. So now we got to do the inside, but I got one more thing to do here. I'm going to grab that green ribbon and I'm going to cut a piece off about yay big. And I want to tie just a simple little knot bow. You know, the other one I put that gold and the vanilla and gold. This one I thought I would do it a little bit different and just do a little knot bow. Something like that. Something simple. And we're going to cut this off this way and cut this way. And there is our little knot bow. Just gives it a little something right there at the top. Now all we have left to do is our inside. And remember, I have these mats. Now we're going to stamp something inside, but I want to put these two mats together, and we can put these together using regular glue. So I'm just going to run some glue around my outer edges. It'll fit on the inside. And then I'm going to set that down, slide it over just a hair, and up a hair. It's not working for me, is it? Let's see, get that right there. Sometimes the ones with the smaller borders can be a little fussy, but we can get it. I love the look. Give it a good press. And now all we have to do is decide what we want to stamp on this. And I have got it's not the one that I want. I want something that has some type of birthday sentiment inside. So, this one. I'm so happy you were born. That is so cute. And we're going to do that on the inside. And we're going to use the Pretty Peacock ink. Looks like it's going to work pretty good. So I'm going to put this up to the top a little bit because I got some decorating we're going to do. Give that a good press. Beautiful. And now we can go ahead and put in our other, you know what? I'm missing one of my gold pieces. I should have done 3 of those and I didn't. We're going to wing it. Okay. I'm going to put this piece here. I'm going to put this off of the edge like that. And then we're going to put these 3 little flowers around it like that. I do need one more piece, but I forgot to cut it. Actually, 2 of them. Oh, I need 2 more pieces. Do I want to go off and cut those? I think I do. Let me go off camera and cut those and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the other pieces cut and you can see what a difference those just adding those 2 gold pieces in makes. So let's go ahead and put this part of it together and we're simply just going to glue everything down. So I'm going to put just a tiny bit of glue on the end of that and I want to stick that right to the back of the flower so that it's at the edge right there. And then we're going to put glue on the back of the flower. And I'm just going to put the glue in the middle so that I can tuck other things under it. So make sure that goes right there to the edge. And then this piece we're going to tuck under here like this. So again, I'm just going to put glue on the bottom of this piece and tuck that right there. And then this piece, we're going to tuck it under right about there. So again, we're going to put glue under here. And then just pick that up a tiny little bit. And then press that down. Now all we have left to do is to put these little flowers that we made. And I'm going to put one there. Let's see, that's sticking out just a little bit. So let's see if we can trim that. We don't need that sticking out. So I'm going to put a little bit more glue under here just to kind of hold that down. And then I'm going to put one of these flowers up here. So just a tiny dot of glue. And set that down. And then I want to put one right about here. Stick that down. And we're going to do one out to the side right here. And just glue that in place. And look how stinking cute the inside is. So now all we have to do is adhere this piece to our blue and then put the whole piece inside of our card. So I'm hoping everything's has adhered on here. So we're going to turn it over. Hope that it has. Run a bead of glue around the outside edges, a little bit in the middle. And let's lay this down. Again, you want to be cautious of that tiny border all the way around. Give it a good press. And now we're ready to put glue on the back of this. Now this card, if you mail this card to someone, be ready to pay some extra postage. This is not a card that you're going to get away without some extra postage. But if you're hand delivering a card like this, I can't imagine the reaction that you would get from someone getting a card like this. It is simply gorgeous. So I'm going to lay that in like so. And give it a good press. And then close. And there is our card, our happy birthday card. And then this one, I did this one a little different. This one is like a faith over fear card. Both of these cards are beautiful in their own right. They're a little bit different, but very much the same. And the way I decorated, I used a petal pink here. I used the bubble bath here. I did use the shaded spruce on all of this, and my bird is just about the same. I think I did use a little bit more blue, and you could easily fix that by just coming in right here. I think I had a little bit of blue going around the edge there. Very simple, easy fix to make. But play with those birds. If you have the stamp set, you're going to want to play with those birds and see how pretty you can color them. And don't limit yourself to just blues and greens and lavenders, because hummingbirds come in all different colors and they're so beautiful. So I just want to thank you so much for tuning in for this tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're interested in any of the products that you saw me use in this video, please reach out to me, and or you can click the link below this video. If you go to my blog post, the address for that is under the video as well. You can click there and get the PDF tutorial for this card, as well as links to all the products that I used, and you can also find all the order numbers. It's all right there for you. So thank you again for tuning in. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to our Lord Jesus. He is worthy. So until we craft again, God bless and keep you. Bye.